Palantir, here's what we got. Now, a couple of things are noteworthy here. Obviously, Palantir's strength, which we've been covering since, the 20s, right? When we had a couple of troll chatters come in here saying, this is a short, this is a short, this is a short, you guys have to short this. Yeah, that was 150 points ago. Thankfully, we didn't listen to that, and we're still here trying to trade. The other thing that we should notice is that, boy, oh boy, these trend lines that we have been drawing on things, they have been spectacular in terms of giving us ideas of where this price should go, where support is, where resistance is, the whole 9 yards. It has been phenomenal, and it continues to be phenomenal. The trend line that we had starting from the Liberation Day low and actually had this kind of drawn here through the June low. This is now an upside trend line, and these earnings here today busting right through that. We are actually gapping above that trend line. This now makes this a key level here. I would say that 168 to 170 is absolutely going to be a potential area of support here for Palantir. If we stay above that, there's no stopping this stock from being able to ride that trend line higher. For all of you that draw fibs on things, I'd be curious to know, what type of upside targets do you have from your fib drawings here? Is there anything that we should pay attention to? With all of this, we shall see here. Palantir. Now, let's actually dive into some of the numbers here. Palantir reported financial results for the second quarter after the market closed yesterday. Palantir reported second quarter earnings of $1 billion. So Palantir putting up its first billion-dollar quarter. Billion-dollar quarter, beating analyst estimates of $939.71 million. The company's second quarter adjusted earnings of 16 cents per share beat the analyst estimates of 14 cents per share. Palantir has now met or exceeded analyst estimates on the top and bottom lines in 8 consecutive quarters. I can actually show you how to find that in Benzinga Pro. Really, really easy to do. And just this company is just absolutely killing it. They continue to hit on all cylinders here. Total revenue was up 48% year over year, and U.S. revenue grew 68% year over year. U.S. commercial revenue grew 93% year over year, and U.S. government revenue climbed by 53% year over year. So just all of those metrics, double-digit gains, almost triple-digit gains in some cases. Palantir's customer count grew 43% year over year and 10% on a quarter-over-quarter basis. Just no chill in this. The company said it closed 157 deals worth over $1 million in the quarter, 66 deals worth at least $5 million, and 42 deals worth at least $10 million. We're not talking about little numbers here. These are big time, big boy numbers. Palantir generated $539 million in cash from operations and $569 million in adjusted free cash flow in the quarter. Palantir ended the quarter with approximately $6 billion cash equivalents, and short-term U.S. Treasury securities. Quote, "This was a phenomenal quarter. We continue to see astonishing impact of AI leverage. Our Rule of 40 score was 94%, once again obliterating the metric." Now, this came from Alex Karp. He's no stranger to talking very positively about the company. He's often attacked short sellers. For those of you that are unaware, the Rule of 40 is a financial metric that is used in the SaaS industry, stating that a company's combined revenue growth and profit margin should equal or exceed 40%. This rule helps assess whether a software as a service company is balancing growth with profitability effectively. So their revenue growth rate and profit margin should equal 40%. Palantir's was 94%. Just an absolute monster print here, and Palantir is reacting to that. Palantir expects third quarter revenue to be in the range of $1.083 billion. They're anticipating and guiding for another billion-dollar quarter here, and that is above the estimate. Palantir also raised full-year guidance. Palantir now expects full-year 2025 revenue of $4.14 billion to $4.15 billion, up from the prior guide of $3.89 billion to $3.9 billion. Analysts were forecasting full-year revenue of $3.9 billion. Palantir raised its U.S. commercial revenue guidance, adjusted income from its operations guidance, and adjusted free cash flow for guidance for 2025. Company said it continues to expect positive GAAP operating income and net income in each quarter this year. No chill. It does not plan on calming down at all. And I think, for us trying to figure out how we're going to trade this company with what, 270 forward PE. That doesn't really matter right now. I agree with all the folks that say eventually it is, but right now it doesn't. And this means that this is going to make this harder to trade for the upside. It's definitely something that I think you want to wait and buy on a pullback once it confirms a support area. And until this thing stops performing, I think there's a lot of potential upside. Palantir's management team discussed all of this on the conference call, and we'll see how the market actually responds to that here today. I do have another article here just to some more information on Palantir. I'll try and not repeat myself, but forgive me if there's a little bit of that. It extended its gain, reaching 168. That's actually the number that we just talked about on the trend line, interestingly enough. However, technical analyst Mark Newton warned of a stretched valuation as the stock's relative strength indicator hits 95. Nothing new here. We've been talking about that stretched valuation for a while, and it hasn't mattered yet. Just saying. Newton, managing director of Fundstrat Global Advisors, posted on X that the company closed 42 deals worth $10 million last quarter, but questions remain about whether that pace is sustainable, given its valuation of 70 to 80 times revenue. All right, so if you're interested in this at all, or the thread or the chart because it's small and you want to see it on your own screen, there is the link to this. You can go ahead and go through that. Palantir reported revenue of $1.004 billion. That crushed analyst estimates, as we discussed. The astonishing impact, phenomenal quarter, lots of really kind of verbose things being mentioned. That car's got an aftermarket exhaust. CNBC's Jim Cramer remained bullish. Is that the death knell? We'll have to see. Jim Cramer remained bullish despite the elevated metrics. Quote, Palantir, when it was 50, I said it would go to 100. And when it was 100, I said it would go to 150. Now that it's topped 150, its next stop is 200. So there you go. Cramer saying that this is going to 200. Place your bets, folks. Wedbush analyst Dan Ives calling Palantir the Messi of AI. We've heard that a few times here. A projected $1 trillion market cap within 2 or 3 years. They keep doing $1 billion quarters. I think that's definitely going to happen. Palantir raised its full-year revenue guidance to $4.14 to $4.15 billion. That's well above the analyst estimates. Newton cautioned that, quote, late August could bring some necessary mean reversion, and recommended running trailing stops on extended issues like this is a must when the air gets a bit thin. So, okay, this is actually really smart, right? If you're long in this, you probably want to take some gains. If you have a long-term position in this, like an investment, perhaps you want to trim that in accordance with your allocation parameters or your risk parameters. The stock has moved so much that it is, at this point, it really behooves you to take gains. So the trailing stop method here, something we've discussed on our program, that might be a pretty good idea. But he's also talking about August maybe bringing some necessary mean reversions. And this is kind of what I was just mentioning. We should see if there's a way that we can actually buy this on some type of support. If this pulls back into a support level and holds that, does that set up for a long?